Let me tell you what's actually happening out here right now. Since January 1st of this year, 1,621 companies have announced mass layoffs. Nike, Meta, Snap, Microsoft. Not small companies, not struggling companies, companies with billions in the bank, cutting thousands of people loose and saying AI made them do it. The Ford CEO stood on a stage and told an audience that literally half of all white collar workers in the US will be replaced by this technology. Half. And here's what I want you to know. Where does that leave you? Not the economist, not the CEO on a stage, you. The one who has been doing excellent work for years. The one who people come to when things are broken. The one whose ideas have made other people rich, other companies successful, other leaders look brilliant. Where does that leave you? Because I'm going to tell you something that nobody else is saying. The problem is not the layoffs. The problem is that millions of people have built their entire identity around a job that was never theirs to keep. And that is what I'm here to talk about today. My name is Tina Brinkley Potts. And if you're new here, let me tell you real quick what I do and why you should care. I have spent decades inside of some of the biggest revenue machines in this country. Not as a figurehead, not as a speaker on the stage, as the actual architect. I helped generate over $250 million in revenue for other people's businesses. I built the funnels, closed the gaps. I solved the problems no one else could figure out. I was the person they called when everything was on fire. And for a long time, I let them call me without ever building something for myself. This channel, this book, this incubator, all of it is me finally saying enough. And today I want to have a real conversation with you. Not a motivational speech, not a highlight reel. A conversation about what's actually holding intelligent, capable, experienced people back from building something that belongs to them. Because I've been watching the headlines, and I'll be honest, they scare me. Not for me, for you. For the person watching this that has 15, 20, 25 years of knowledge sitting in their head with no plan B if the paycheck stops. So let's get it. Fortune magazine just published a piece about what they're calling professional identity purgatory. They said, and this is their language, not mine, that what AI does to professionals goes deeper than lost tasks or restructured roles. It strikes at something more fundamental. The sense that what you spent your career mastering still matters. Read that again. The sense that what you spent your career mastering still matters. That's the crisis. Not the paycheck, the identity. Because here's what I've seen happen to brilliant people for 30 years. And what I'm watching happening right now at scale. We are a generation of people who were told a very specific story. Go to school, get the degree, get the job, work hard, keep your head down, be excellent, and the institution will take care of you. So that's what we did. We poured everything we had into becoming the best version of their version for us. And we got really, really good at it. But somewhere in the middle of all that excellence, we made a dangerous mistake. We started confusing our job title with our identity. We stopped being people who work in finance and started being the finance person. We stopped being people who worked in education and started being the educator. We built our self-worth around a role that someone else created, someone else owns, and someone else can take away with a 15-minute meeting and a severance package. And now the companies are restructuring. The algorithms are changing. The AI is coming. And millions of people are walking up to a terrifying question that they have never had to answer before. Who am I when I'm not what I do? I'm going to say something that might sting a little. The layoffs are not the problem. The layoffs are the mirror. They're showing us something we should have dealt with a long time ago. That we were renting our identity from an institution instead of owning it ourselves. And the rent is due. I need to tell you something about me, because I think it's important that you know I'm not just talking from theory. Between 2011 and 2014, before algorithms existed the way they do now, I had over 1 million direct-to-camera video views. I knew how to get in front of an audience. I knew how to make a message spread. I knew how to show up and be seen. And then I disappeared. Not because I ran out of ideas, not because I didn't have more to say, but because a part of me, deep in places I didn't even fully understand at the time, was afraid of what it meant to stay visible. I could show up powerfully and then go back into hiding. And I told myself the most dangerous lie that smart people tell themselves. I'm just focused on the work. But the truth was I was still trying to fit in. Still trying not to outgrow the rules that raised me. Still shrinking so other people could be comfortable with my presence. I was doing what I see so many of you doing right now. Building things that almost work. Creating impact but not sustaining it. Proving I'm capable but never fully claiming the authority. And I will never forget what finally cracked it open for me. I was up for a speaking opportunity. I was the right fit. Everyone in the room knew it. My expertise was undeniable. And the weeks went by, no call back, nothing. When I finally followed up, you know what she told me? She said, Tina, you were the right person, but the event owner had one concern. You didn't have a book. I was floored. They chose someone less qualified, less experienced, less powerful in that room because she had a book. That had nothing to do with what I knew. It had everything to do with how it was positioned. And right then, I made a decision. I would never again let my expertise be invisible. I wrote my first book, and then another. And then we're here with no network and the Trailblazers Incubator, because I am done being the secret weapon for other people's tables. And I'm wondering if you're done too. Let me give you the numbers because I want you to feel the weight of this. In 2025, employers announced over 1.2 million job cuts. That's a 58% increase from the year before. 58%. And the people being hit the hardest are not the people you'd expect. They're calling them the knowledge workers. That's the term they're using. The accountants, the paralegals, the compliance teams, the financial analysts, the mid-level managers, the people who built their entire careers around knowing things. And the companies cutting them are literally saying, AI does this now. Amazon, Salesforce, Snap, Block, Jack Dorsey's company, cut half their workforce earlier this year and said AI changed what it means to build and run a company. Half. Now, I want to be clear about something. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to tell you that what is happening right now is a wake-up call that you can answer. Because here's what AI cannot do. AI cannot replicate your judgment. AI can't replicate your relationships. AI can't replicate the specific way you see problems, connect ideas, and create solutions based on 30 years of lived experience in rooms that most people never get access to. Fortune magazine said it themselves. AI can't touch judgment. It can't touch context. It can't touch the capacity to ask the right question rather than answer the one in front of you. That is your no net worth. The knowledge in your head is not the problem. It never was. The problem is that you haven't packaged it. You haven't positioned it. You haven't built anything that belongs to you. So when the institution decides it no longer needs what you're selling, you've got nothing to fall back on except another job application to another institution. And that cycle has to stop. I want to talk about what it actually looks like to stop renting your identity and start owning it. Because this is not a motivational concept. This is a practical decision with practical steps. The first thing I want you to understand is this. Your knowledge already has value. You don't need to learn something new. You don't need another certification. You don't need to start from scratch. You need to excavate what's already there. Think about this. How many times have you helped someone work through a problem and they looked at you like you just handed them a miracle? And you thought, that was obvious to me. That gap between what's obvious to you and what's a miracle to someone else, that's where your income lives. That's your no net worth. The second thing I want you to understand is this. Staying hidden is not humility. It is self-sabotage dressed up in good manners. I know that's a hard word, but I've watched too many brilliant, yes, I said it twice, people stay broke, stay stuck, stay overlooked because they were waiting for someone to notice them. Nobody is coming to notice you. You have to decide that what you know is worth being paid for. You have to decide that your story is worth being told. You have to decide that your expertise deserves a seat at the table, and not just any table, but your own. And the third thing, and this is the one that changes everything, your business will only grow to the level that your identity allows it to exist. Read that slowly. If you still see yourself as a support person, you will build systems that support others but do not elevate you. If you still see yourself as the person behind the scenes, you will create value that someone else gets credit for. If you're still trying to be accepted by people who cannot hold your expansion, you will unconsciously cap your own success. Not because you lack strategy, because you are protecting an identity that no longer fits who you're becoming. Here's what I'm building and why I'm building it now. I wrote a book called No Net Worth, Unearthing Your Intellectual Wealth. It's about exactly what we've been talking about today. It's about helping you recognize that what you know has value and teaching you how to turn that knowledge into income, into assets, into something that can generate revenue whether you're in the building or not. You can grab it. The link is in the description. It's $29.99 with free shipping, and you get the ebook immediately so you can start reading today. And for the ones who are ready to go deeper, I built the Trailblazers Incubator, coaching, curriculum, community, on Kajabi, built specifically for the person who has been the secret weapon long enough, for the founder who's tired of growing by hustle, for the coach or consultant who's ready to package their expertise into something premium. For the corporate professional who knows they have a next chapter that doesn't require someone else's permission. Right now, founding seats are open at $2,000. After 50 people, that price goes to $6,000. I'm not saying that to pressure you. I'm saying it because I want people who are ready right now to have access at the founding price before this cohort closes. If that's you, the link to book a call is in the description. It's a 20-minute conversation, not a sales call, a clarity call. I want to understand where you are and what you're building, and we'll figure out together if Trailblazers is the next step. I want to leave you with this. There is an article that Fortune published a few weeks ago about something they're calling professional identity purgatory. And the author said something that I haven't been able to stop thinking about. She said the question AI forces us to reckon with is not, what do I do now? It's, who am I when I'm not doing it? That is the question. And I want you to sit with it, not in anxiety, not in dread, but in possibility. Because here's what I know after 30 years of watching people navigate moments exactly like this one. The people who come out the other side are not the ones who scramble hardest to hold on to what they had. They're the ones who finally decided that what they know, what they live, what they've built in their minds and in their hearts and their experience was worth more than any title ever gave them. You already have what it takes to build something that belongs to you. That question is whether you're willing to stop hiding it. I'll be back here tomorrow. Same time, more of this. If this hits you, share it with someone who needed to hear it today. And if you're ready to stop negotiating with the version of you that keeps playing small, you know where to find me. Let's go.